In this video, I make enough Christmas decorations to fill an entire tree, and I also show you the behind the scenes and I'll tell you about all the information behind my recent TV appearance, so stay tuned to find out all of that and see my lovely decorated tree with all handmade ornaments. Hello and welcome to a video which I don't know what I'm going to title yet, but to summarise, I was on TV. I was on a TV programme called Kirsty's Handmade Christmas. It's on every year here in the UK, and it's all about crafty bits and bobs, Christmas themed crafts. And I spent an entire, I was going to say month, but it wasn't a month. I think it was like 2.5 weeks making Christmas decorations for a tree, and then I spent 3 days making a 3D owl, and I'll get into all the ins and outs of why I did everything in a second. So first off, I'll talk about the application process and how that came about. So I was actually on holiday and I had an email come through from this craft market company that I'm just subscribed to, so I always get emails from them just saying that Kirsty's Handmade Christmas applications were open. So I thought, oh, I'm just here on holiday, I'm doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs, sat in the sun. Let's do an application, why not? So I threw together an application, didn't think much of it, and then literally the next day I had a phone call being like, we like your application, can we chat a bit about like what you plan on making for the show? Very much on the spot at this point, like I'm on holiday. I'm in my swimming costume and I'm there talking about, yes, well, for the show I was thinking I could be part of the tree competition. And I'm just trying to spew out all these ideas. I don't really know what I was talking about at the time. I can't tell you what I said, but I must have said something good, because then the following day I got another phone call saying that I'd gone through to the next round, because there's like multiple rounds of casting, I suppose. So I did a few different phone calls where I had to like go into detail about what I would make, why my craft is important to me, yada yada, and so on and so forth. And at first I didn't think I would get picked because I didn't really do that much 3D stuff. Well, I very rarely do 3D stuff, and the show is very much a craft show and not an illustration show, so I was worried my work would be too illustration heavy. So I was like telling them about all these 3D things I could make, but I didn't really have any 3D things to really show them other than like a handful of things. But I guess they must have liked what I was saying, and then I made it through to the final round where I had to submit a PDF drawing of my plan. So I'll pop that up on screen now actually, and you just had to kind of draw out all the different ornament ideas, how that would look on the tree, and do like a coloured in version, and this is so they can get an idea of it, and also on the show they show up an image of your sketches to give people an idea at home what you're planning on making. So I spent around 2 days frantically drawing all these bits and bobs and putting together this mood board. I just kind of went with the first idea I could come up with, really. I thought, well, mice, I like them. Mice delivering Christmas, there we go. I don't have time to think about anything else. I just need to go get this made. Because bear in mind, I was on holiday. So as soon as I got back from my holiday, I was like, right, quick, get this mood board done, get this PDF sent off, and then final phone call being like, we really like your mood board, you've made it through to the final round of casting, and basically if you haven't heard anything within the next, I don't know, I think it was 2 weeks, you haven't got it, but thanks for sending out the application. 2 weeks had passed and I hadn't heard anything, so I just assumed not got it. I mean, because a lot of people apply, it's quite a big show here in the UK. It's on Channel 4. It's like tea time on Channel 4, which is, tea. I say tea and not everyone knows what tea is. The main meal time of the day. It's on at like 5:30, 6:30, that kind of time on one of the biggest channels. So it's quite a big show. Anyway, got a phone call about maybe 3 days after the deadline has passed, and at this point I kind of assumed I hadn't got it. And well, basically saying I had got it, and I was like, oh my god, amazing. On one hand, amazing. On the other hand, oh my god, I have to do so much work now. Because obviously it was such a good opportunity, I couldn't turn it down, but equally the amount of work that went into this was huge. And I was also moving house at the end of the month, so there was this massive thing I had to do, as well as trying to sandwich that in between moving house. So it was quite a stressful time. I suppose I should explain a little bit about the concept of the show. So in this series, there was 4 different semi-finals, I suppose, 4 different first rounds. You could have picked when you applied which round you thought was best for you. So there was a tree decorating show, the wreath making show, just general make a gift and make a hamper. And I thought, well, what would mine suit the best? So I just went for tree because I thought I could make some nice 3D decorations. And also on the show, there's like different crafty bits and bobs, but the competition's the main focus of the show. And then if you won that round, you'd go through to the final episode, which was a table decorating competition where you had to make a table centerpiece, as well as napkin holders, crackers, like the crackers that you pull, and name tags. So the work for that was kind of put on the back burner because the tree one, I knew I definitely was going to do this because that's the competition that's the first round. But then the table decorating one was like, I don't want to put too much time into this because there's a 1 in 4 chance I'm not going to get through to the final because you're up against 3 other people. And the way the show works is it's like they pick completely different crafts. So I was on the tree one, I was up against a crochet woman, a woman who made felted Christmas dinner items. They were so cute. I mean, everyone was amazing on this show. And a woman who made clay, like little figurines. Well, ceramics or clay. So everyone's very different. And then in the final round, and the table decorator, spoiler, I got through to the final. And then in the final round, I was up against a wood carver, a lino printer, and a flower arranger, like florist. Everyone did like these amazing things. So that's kind of the introduction, how this came about, and I guess who I was up against, the premise of the show, and what has been up on screen for the past few minutes. I've been making, well, here I am just making all my different Christmas decorations. I had basically for 2.5 weeks straight, from waking up to going to sleep, this was my life. We're only having a break to eat. It was mad, like getting all this done, staying up late a lot of nights as well, because I had to make enough decorations to fill a whole tree. And I have no idea really how big the tree was going to be, and I had a feeling the tree was going to be pretty big looking at previous series. So like, God, I need enough decorations to fill a tree. And I even asked, like, do we have to fill the back of the tree, or do we just have to do like the front of the tree, which will be seen by the camera? And they were like, no, the whole tree has to be covered. It's like, come on guys, give me a break, there's already so much to make. So the amount that I've filmed is probably about 5%, maybe even less, 2% of what I actually did. I did try to take loads of pictures of everything I was doing, and there's a little photo montage coming up later on because I really didn't film that much. I filmed bits and bobs here for the video, and also there's like the production team requested that you sent in videos of you making it, as well as just videos of you doing your hobbies and life bits and bobs. Like on the show, there's a little snippet of me and my boyfriend dancing, because it's just like when they're introducing you, Emily is a full-time illustrator and enjoys dancing in her free time. Yeah, you know, like when they do the little introduction thing. And I sent in this nice video of me and my boyfriend dancing. And they picked the worst bit in the entire dance to put on the programme. I'm a bit annoyed at that, because it was this really cool, we're doing like a bit of a jive, and we did this really cool kick segment at the start, and they didn't use it, and they used the really boring bit where we were just like repeating the same move again and again. Unbelievable. Anyway, so I was filming this also to send them so they could edit it however they wanted as well. I sent them loads of footage, and they, like in the actual programme, they used about 10 seconds of it. But at least I got all this footage for this video. My decorations include loads of boxes with mice, like presents with mice coming out. I made this whole train. I don't think I filmed any of the train actually, because I was just so stressed at this point in time. I was like, no time to film, just have to make. But there'll be process pictures coming up later on. And also, if you was part of the Patreon at that point and you was keeping up to date with it, I was posting regular updates, which I'm not sure if I was supposed to really share. Like, I knew I definitely couldn't say I was on the programme, that had to be a secret, but I don't know if also like the things I was making were supposed to be secret, because if they were, I did not keep them secret at all. You know, I had a Patreon page to keep updated. But I did it anyway, I guess, a little rule breaker. So there's, yeah, loads of presents with mice coming out of, like, biting holes in the presents. There's candy canes made from, like, foraged twigs from the path behind my house. These cute little mice gingerbread. There's gingerbread houses made from, like, recycled foam. Basically everything is made from recycled materials. It's all just old cereal boxes. A lot of the presents, honestly, the most time-consuming part of this whole thing was just making the boxes to cover in paper. Oh, it was so long, and I had a lot of help off my family. My mum, my dad, my boyfriend were... My mum and dad, they were so ready to help me at any point. Bless them. And my boyfriend as well, but he was working at the time, so... Well, my mum and dad, everyone was working, to be honest, but my boyfriend wasn't always here to help, but my mum and dad were. But whenever anyone could, they did. They helped me, which was... I honestly couldn't have made all these decorations without their help. For example, the candy canes, I found all the sticks, but then I kind of directed my dad. I was like, right, can you cut all these sticks at like this angle and then glue them together into a candy cane shape? And I think I painted half of them, and then my mum painted the other half of candy canes. A lot of the boxes that the paper got wrapped around were made by a mixture of me, my dad, my boyfriend, because they just took so long. So just giving my dad a template and like, right, can you cut this out and can you score it, and then can you give it to me to wrap in paper. A lot of the boxes as well were, like, for most of the boxes were handmade from like a bigger cereal box. I'm measuring it, cutting it out, scoring it. But then other boxes were just like pre-existing small boxes which exist in the world, like an OXO cube box or like a paracetamol box. So just so much time spent folding and making tiny boxes. And then obviously hand painting all the paper, collaging it all on. I love these little rockets that I made. I kind of wish I'd made a few more rockets because I only made 2, but I think they're my favourite ones actually, with the little mouse waving out the window. The whole idea of the tree is just like, what are all the different modes of transport which the mice can use to deliver the presents? And also like the mice getting up to mischief, chewing holes in the presents and all those bits and bobs. So I made hot air balloons. I made quite a few hot air balloons. I made some big ones, some small ones, the rockets, some kites, a train. I can't even remember everything I've made now. I'm looking at my tree, I've got it up now. If you would like to make your very own hot air balloon, like the ones I've got on my tree, I made a downloadable, well, a printable, you download it and then you print it out, file over on Patreon, which you can access from the lowest tier. I think it's £2 a month, but basically you can pay £2 and instantly get access to, God, I think there's like 13 downloadables on there now. There's also the robin as well, which I used in my table decoration in the final round. And then the owl that I made, I kind of made it into because that owl, it's that was like a one-of-a-kind thing which I made, but then I kind of scanned in a few of the textures and made it into a little much more simplified version of the owl, which you can fold up, print off, fold up and make yourself. So there's free downloadables over on Patreon which you can print off to kind of have your own version of the things I make in this video, as well as loads of other downloadables as well. And that's my little Patreon promo over. But I just thought I'd show you all this before I pack it all up. So these are all my presents. Oh, this guy's fallen over. Go, little mice. So they're Christmas mice delivering Christmas. The idea is it's an alternate reality where mice deliver Christmas instead of Santa, and it's all these little busy elves working away. Sorry if this looks really dark and dull and grainy. It's a dull grey day and I'm just using the flash on my phone. So I've got lots of presents. Most of them have mice interacting in some way. Some of them are just plain presents like this. There's also some kites in here. All the bits of gold that you see in, I mean, this is gold leaf that I've done onto some pink paper. It's not the best, it's kind of coming away on some places, but that way it's like super shiny, because I feel like gold paper never really is that shiny, but gold leaf is super shiny. Oh, I've also got some boxes of wrapping paper and this entire tray in here at the front. This is kind of like my standout decoration, my statement piece. I love this little guy on top with a naughty on mice list, little box of wrapping paper in the back, used acorn tops as the wheels. So cute, so cute, so cute. Alright, coming back with a voiceover because the audio went a bit weird on this bit. I had loads of hot air balloons and all my hanging bits just hung across my room. For the presents, I didn't really know how I was going to attach them to the tree. I just thought I'd figure it out when I get there. But because it is paper, I could just like poke it with a needle, make a hole, and then I bought some wire, ornament hanging wire, and I figured I could just hang it all using that if I needed to, and also just kind of prop it on branches. Anyway, here is just a tiny bit of me making this owl. I did make an entire process video about this owl, which is much longer than the clips in these videos. This video now, it's over on Patreon. It's, if you go to the video collection tabs, you'll find it. But I thought I would include just a tiny bit in this video to paint the whole picture of the creation process. And this owl I think I made in 3 days, and this was for the table decorating competition if I got through. Like I said, I didn't want to put too much effort into this because I was going up against 3 other people and only one person could go through, so I didn't want to spend ages on something when, you know, it wasn't going to get seen. There was a chance it wasn't going to get seen. I still really like it though. For my table centerpiece, I decided to work smarter, not harder. Or having said that, I did work hard, but kind of rely on nature's niceness to make stuff look good. So like dried flowers and a branch and acorns and leaves, kind of fluff it out with that kind of stuff. I'm in a hotel room. I'm about to go to bed. I have been travelling all day on a train and then in a taxi to get here today. Tomorrow's a big day. Not really feeling much emotion about it at the moment. I'm sure I'll feel very nervous in the morning. It's early. I've got to be in the reception for 6:45, and then they're like driving us, they're taking us to the location. I've got everything packed in that suitcase there that has everything I need. So I just take that and go. But the suitcase is filled to the brim with Christmas decorations. So I don't know if I'll be going home tomorrow or if I get through I'll be staying till Thursday. It's currently Monday. If I don't get through, it's fine because I am excited to get home because I've just moved house. So I'm excited to get back to my boyfriend in our little flat and decorate. But if I do get through, it's great because I've spent a lot of time making an owl and it would be nice for it to be seen. Whatever happens, I'll be happy with the outcome. I'm gonna go to bed. Goodbye. There's my trophy. Okay, here's a little photo montage. Like I mentioned at the start, I did so much work which I didn't film, so I thought I would just do a little photo montage because I was taking loads of pictures to keep people on Patreon updated, because obviously I couldn't go silent on Patreon for like 2.5 weeks. I still needed to post what I was up to. So here's the floor filled with loads of hot air balloon shapes. They all got folded up and turned into hot air balloons. My room was just a mess for 2.5 weeks straight. You can see there how the paper from the hot air balloons gets folded up and turned into them. Everything's hand painted. There's not a single bit of these ornaments which haven't been covered in a bit of paper painted by me in some way, shape or form. All these mice, they turned out so cute. For the mice, I used my handmade gouache set because I just have a lot of colour variety with that gouache set, loads of different coloured browns. So I made around 50 mice. The mice were the last thing to go in as well, because I had all these decorations made and they were just completely mouseless until the last day. Like the last half of the last day. Like I stayed up until like 3 o'clock at night just making mice, because I'm like, this story is just not going to make sense unless the mice are. If there's no mice, it's just a bunch of kind of pretty, it's quite basic. It's just presents. The mice is what makes it unique. So I just stayed up so late, painted all these mice and sticking them in place. And the ears, oh gosh, the ears are so fiddly. Quite a lot of the ears have fallen off now. I need to stick them back on. Here's a bit of behind the scenes of what the actual filming location looked like. My finished tree from the show. It doesn't look as impressive on the pictures and in the videos. In real life it looked a lot nicer, and also the tree they gave us was huge, so it just looked a bit bare, even though I had made loads. Because the tree was so big, it wasn't really as full as I wanted it to be, but oh well. And then here's a table decorating thing that I did as well in the final of the competition. Really happy with how this turned out. The owl looks so nice, and I made these little paper robins as well, and I obviously the napkin holders and the name tags and the crackers as well. All of it handmade by me. So that's all the pictures, and there's me looking happy in front of my table. And a bit more behind the scenes. I will show you now the decorations put up on my tree now, where I live in my flat with my boyfriend. This is on a 4-foot tree, so a lot smaller than I don't know how tall the tree was, maybe 6 foot, but the tree on the competition, it was so wide as well. Like, it wasn't that tall, but it was so wide. But this is kind of the original vision I had with these tree decorations. I think the best trees are the ones which are really densely packed, and because we have quite a small tree in comparison to the one on the show, everything is much more densely packed and it looks so cute. I absolutely love this tree, and it kind of came at a nice time, this competition, because like I mentioned, we had just moved into we've both moved out of our family homes, so we were completely decorationless. So luckily for us, I had enough decorations handmade to fill a tree. So in terms of Christmas decorations, we didn't have to buy any, well, other than the tree itself, but that was it. Everything else I had already made, so that's nice. And it's really nice because no one else has this tree, no one else has any of these decorations. It's completely unique. I don't know, I just think it's really cool. I come in every morning and I look at it with a smile on my face. The lights are a bit of a letdown. Don't look too much at the lights. We could do with a better set of lights. And they're also running out of battery as well, so they're going really dim. The tree's got about 10 lights on it, but the ornaments certainly make up for the lack of lights. I was really struggling to get the tree to come across on camera because it just looks a lot better in real life, but I tried my best. And then the train I just have on the table because the tree was a bit too full, and I thought the train needed its own little space to shine. Alright, that's all for me. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you're in the UK and you fancy watching the show I was on, it's on channel all 4. You can find it. I'm on episode 1 and episode 5 of the 2024 series. If you're in another country, I don't know how you watch it. I'm afraid I don't know that information. Alright, that's all from me. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all these crafty bits and bobs, and I'll probably see you next year.